you're probably going to have to learn the hard way, but I'm going to give you 2 important crypto lessons that I have learned the hard way, and I'm going to try to link memory to emotion so that you remember this better. And the emotion part, I'm going to try to keep things funny, but these are very important crypto lessons. I'm doing all this in my best efforts to allow you to be spared from being in such a situation that I've been. Are you ready? Let's get it. Most of you know that I have 4 kids, a boy, 3 girls, age 4 through 12. And my third child, a 5-year-old girl, she loves cuss words and just absolutely loves cuss words. And so she'll walk around the house and, just hearing things from her older brother or from me or, mom, and repeats them a lot. And then over time, she's really, sometimes I'll just hear her in her room just saying cuss words. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, I just want to say this. So we had to really get on to her. Hey, stop. You need to stop this. Like, you cannot go to school. She's in kindergarten. You cannot go to school doing this. And so after a while, a little training there, she goes, I want to say the M word, Dad, the M word. And I'm like, what? What do you mean, the M word? Okay. And I said, okay, say it. And she goes, fuck. It's like, that's not the M word. Thank goodness we were at home. But this little girl, she faked me out. She tricked me so that she could say the F word really loud. And so that's situation number 1 connected to that. And I'm going to connect it to the crypto lesson here in a minute. But situation number 2, 3 girls I took out. I don't know why, but they were at a restaurant. The ambiance and the situation was the restaurant was fairly quiet. So I was with my 3 girls, maybe after like a sports practice or something, getting the smaller kids away from mom so she could probably take a nap. I don't know what it was, at a restaurant. And my at the time I think 9-year-old oldest daughter, she was kind of whispering at me because the restaurant was a little quieter. And she goes, Dad, what was that? How did you say the B word, like the cuss word, the B word, but you said it in a different way so you can, you didn't say a bad word? And I was like, what are you talking about? I said, oh, you mean biatch? And she goes, wait, what was it? And I said, biatch. He goes, oh yeah, that was it. They're whispering. And then out of the corner of my eye, I saw movement, at the table. And I looked over, and it was that same 5-year-old girl, the one who loves cuss words. She's over there holding onto her chair like, and I look over, and she goes, biatch! She just screamed it in the restaurant. She screamed biatch. And then everybody looked over, so I didn't get to share the embarrassment with my wife. It was just me with the 3 girls, and one of them just yelled biatch in a kind of a quiet restaurant scenario. And I'm going to pull up the couple of lessons here that this is going to relate to. And again, I'm going to show you exact examples of how I found myself in this situation so that you can find this as useful as possible. All right, I'm going to have to move this over a little bit. All right. Number 1, the situation where the child said, can I say the M word, and dropped the F-bomb on me. Institutions got into crypto heavily in terms of linking trading desk, the algorithms, all that stuff, specific. So perhaps there was investment by institutions beforehand to some degree, but not straight up linking up trading desk from, their NASDAQ futures to Bitcoin. Happened in roughly 2019 per my research. It's not verified, but this is kind of my take on it. And since then, fake outs happen more often. So, my kid said the M word, she asked to say the M word, said the F word, really surprised me, took me by surprise. Therefore, conditions to be either bullish or bearish sometimes are absolutely perfectly met, and then price goes the exact opposite way. An example of this, I will pull up on my chart here in a second, is and you're watching this in the year 2023 future tillions or 2024, it doesn't matter. You can go back on the weekly chart, go to the candle of July 12th. And this is a perfect example of that. This was what at this time we were calling the Wyckoff distribution. It was, essentially trading desks linked up to perfectly print out of a textbook, a shape. Then at the end here, this candle initiated a very traditionally bearish signal and drove it down the Monday and Tuesday thereafter to further get people to short, and then drastic and just extremely aggressive price movement, straight up $20,000 or $22,000 straight up from 30K to 52K, ran it the other exact way. And that was one of the few things I actually got right during the Wyckoff distribution channel, but it was a clear bear trap, and this is becoming more and more common. So the thing is, as you're analyzing the charts, just realize that even though a perfect condition is met to either become bullish or bearish, it always could be a trap. It always could be. Even though the probabilities just got strong to one side, it doesn't matter. You need to realize that a lot of times these trading desks are set up to make it happen exactly, then run it the other way. All right, so situation with the restaurant in Biatch. Yeah, you should have seen her eyes. They're woo, about ready to pop out of her head, hold on to the chair, woo, trying to hold back the urge to yell it. But anyway, let me make myself small again. So getting excited about price movement in general, and then going on, whether you're somebody who watches YouTube or you do Twitter stuff and you get loud about it, it can really backfire on you. And I've done this personally, and so I'm trying to show you things that I've done personally. I'll actually give you an example that kind of meets both of these together. And the way to keep yourself in check is to always try to keep things a game of statistics and probability, as opposed to you want it to go up. And I made this mistake twice, I think, throughout the Wyckoff district. Yeah, I made this exact mistake twice, and I'm an quote unquote influencer on YouTube, so extra shame on me. So it was a very hard lesson to have learned. But one example I have down here is early May. I had my famous words, and people have come on YouTube and said, you said this, and fair game. I did say it. So right around the first lower high of Bitcoin in that Wyckoff distribution, before like a 20K drop in a few days, down to 29K, I said Bitcoin might not ever go back below 50K again. And I'm going to take it off the weekly chart, put it more on the daily here, take this off. And I was saying that about right here in this area. And the reason I was saying that is because both Ethereum and Cardano were smashing through all-time highs. I mean, the market just had, I think it was a flash crash here, kind of, maintained, and then and everything flash crashed with it. I mean, 55-60% in a couple days. For future Tillians who aren't familiar with this, essentially the 64K top-ish. There was a 69K top in the same year, but anyway. I said that famous last words. So I got excited about price. I got sucked in, to essentially a fake out. So this is situation number 1 and 2 combined. Conditions. So the Bitcoin conditions were not met to be bullish, but Ethereum and Cardano seem to. They definitely met the conditions. So it's kind of a pseudo number 1 in terms of institutions setting up the exact condition. This was actually still in potential bear area, right? Retracement up before it dropped down, because this made a lower low, lower than this low. Therefore, you should have been watching out for a lower high. But I got faked out. I got loud about it, and it created embarrassment for me, just like in that restaurant. And then a second time, I created embarrassment for myself. Where was it? I think it might have been I think it was down here at this height here. You have the daily 200 MA there, I believe, and then you had the 10 and 21 getting across to the upside. Yeah, right here. This was it. This is around, so I created embarrassment for myself. This wasn't quite as embarrassing. However, I did get loud about it, and I did not keep it a game of probabilities. It was throughout history, I think there were 12 scenarios where you had a big drop below, the first time going below the weekly 10 EMA, which is that red line. So this red line here, price went below it. And then you had a series of, bounces here with and I'm going to take off price, with the daily 10 getting ready to have a bullish cross above the daily 21. So had this red gone above the yellow, that would have been a bullish squeeze play or a bullish EMA cross. And it historically gets very, very good follow through. And 12, I think it was at that video, it was 12 out of 12 times. It happened 12 times in the past. It worked every time. The first time, after a big move up going below the weekly 10, it did have, even though a lot of them were dead cat bounce, you had a very large bounce or recovery. And since it was a 12 out of 12 time, I got loud about it, didn't keep it a game of statistics and probability, and I got a little excited saying, like, this is, I don't think I said definitely. I think I said the famous last words. I think I said it has a 90% chance. And then it just turned right back around on my face. And so pulling this back over here, again, this the conditions were almost met. So number one wasn't quite, what didn't quite happen, but regardless, I didn't keep it to a game of statistics and probabilities. I should not have said the word 90% because it wasn't 90%. Just because it happened 12 times in the past doesn't necessarily make it a sure deal, and it definitely backfired on me, and that is linked, fairly closely to being in a restaurant and a child got really loud about something and it created embarrassment. So hopefully these specific crypto lessons have, you see these as useful, and linking these to the chart itself, giving specific examples of how I burn myself. I hope you find this useful. I'm not for sure if I'm going to make this into a little mini series, but this idea came into mind, those two situations, and I linked them to Bitcoin and how I've messed up in the past, and I don't want you to mess up in the same way. So we'll see you next time.